What's that?
We're popular at the moment.
Yes, yeah, clearly we've...
All right, everyone good to go?
Mick, given it wasn't the most intense game of all time, what do you, sort of take from that, from your point of view?
Well, what do we take from it? Well, one, a win.
Sure.
Two, I thought some of the things we did were quite good. We need to improve on some others. We technically, I'd say, dominated the second half without... We kicked 10-10 to 2-4, so I suppose... And that's almost going to take place when your opponents are very, very young and experienced, and trying to get through a full season of football is always going to be very, very difficult for them. So we made sure that they didn't get back in the game. A lot of work to do on our touch, work to do on our delivery, work to do on our forward line. We seem to be just a little bit haphazard back there, but we won the game.
Mick, one of the players who's in pretty good touch is Andrew Walker, who just keeps on seeming to take his game to another level each week.
I think, outside of, I'm just trying to think of the first game, I think he's kicked a couple of goals up forward, but outside of that he's been predominantly back. We have played him on the wing a bit, and occasionally just relief on the forward line. So what he brings to the side is versatility, and he generally uses the ball pretty well, both sides of the body, so that's good. And his closing speed is very good. So he's able to play on a number of types of players.
That closing speed as well allows him to sort of read the play and cut off those attacks, and then the disposal skill is really setting up the attacks for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he knows he's got to do a little bit better in certain areas, but by and large, you're right.
You've won obviously 6 of your last 7, and in terms of statistics, I think you're top 3 in terms of shutting down teams, points wise and inside 50s.
Is that for the season? No.
Last 6 weeks.
Last 6, yeah.
Last 6, yeah. So heading into sort of Essendon and Hawthorn, some of the key teams, how do you sort of see the team placed now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think your true value in today's competition is at round 22 or at the end of your 22 games to see where you're at, because there's such a discrepancy within the draw. No, it's not intended by the AFL. It's just simply when you've got 18 teams in 22 games, you've got to play someone 5 times extra, or 5 teams twice. So playing sides that we did early in the season, in their first 3 games, Richmond, Collingwood and Geelong, we lost the 3 of them, but we're in front in each one of those games. I think that's given us a fair indication of the differences between the early season and what we are doing at the moment. Now, by that I mean I'm starting to learn a hell of a lot more about the player group and who can play in certain roles better than someone else, or can that person be moved somewhere else. I take your point about Andrew Walker, that he started the season at the forward line, he went to the back line, and he's probably been a better player back there for us, but we know he can go forward and really, take the big mark and kick the goal. So, and I think on top of that, our player group are a little bit more understanding of what we're trying to achieve on a week-to-week basis of going forward. So that now puts us in against, as you indicated, against Essendon and Hawthorn, in a position where we can say, well, okay, what have we learnt by playing early? What have we learnt in the meantime, given that I'm a new coach at Carlton and most of the sides we've played have had these coaches for a fair time. So in other words, they've built up their characteristics, they've built up their DNA, if you like. So that's the test over the next 2, well, more than 2, but certainly the next 2 weeks before the break, is to see what have we learnt, are we going forward?
Certainly now the boys push for the top 4, really.
Oh, we don't. Yeah, well, see, the ladder, don't forget Lachie's here, so let's not all be directed at me, but it's I've said this before, that the ladder, we take very little interest in the ladder until round 22. We've got our own ladder that is quite defined, and that's the thing we try to look after, and that gives us an idea of where we're at.
Lachie, there seems some real heat in the contest, particularly in the first half. The Giants were really laying a lot of pressure on you guys.
Yeah, they were. They're a good team. They're going to be a very good team in years to come. So we had to really be on defensively, and I think the second half we really reached that and shut them down. So they're a good team. Let's take nothing away against them. They're 2 or 3 years. It's going to be a hot contest against them.
And what about your own forward role? How much are you enjoying it down there? Is it sort of a new lease on life for you?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying playing footy again. I've got some real continuity this year, and the body's feeling really good. And just to get out there and fill my role wherever that is week to week is a good thing.
Mick, early in the season you said that the team wasn't perhaps playing the way you wanted them to play. Are you confident now that they are doing that you've got the game plan where you want it?
Life's about give and take. The game structure that I had delivered in October in Arizona, is different than what it is now. Because you can be pig-headed and just keep bashing it and pounding it, and if the player group aren't really equipped for it, and that's what I had to find out. What are the playing group equipped to do? What do they enjoy? Football's about enjoyment as well. And what can they achieve by, or what can they tell me about the best way they play? So it's give and take on both, and I reckon what we've done is over the last few weeks we've started to cut off bits and pieces that I had, and cut off bits and pieces that perhaps I didn't like, and the player group thought, we'll shuffle it up, and what's happened is we've got a game structure that meets the criteria, and as long as we don't stray from it now, we can be a good football side.
Last questions?
I am Mick. Well, firstly, how's Chris Judd, and how close was he?
No, he said to us, he didn't train yesterday with the intent of getting through a test this morning, and he just didn't feel very comfortable at all playing. So I can't answer that question until I haven't spoken to the medical staff. Once he's declared out, my attention goes straight to the playgroup.
And just quickly as well, did you ever word to Jared Wade, one of the other assistants, have a word to Jared Wade at 3/4 time? I think during the third quarter he was getting frustrated. He came off the ground and just booted the bench at one point. And,
Did he? Well, we'll take it up with Eddie Head. No. Certainly, no. I can categorically tell you I didn't talk to Jared during the game. I don't think I did. No, I would have at half time, but not along those lines. No.
Thanks, guys.
Jeez, Bobby.
Pretty basic.